Hello everyone and good day to you. This is Roger with Groovis Games Unlimited, and I first want to start off with saying happy Thanksgiving to everyone out there. Well, probably happy belated Thanksgiving because you're probably seeing this maybe the night of Thanksgiving or the day after. So for all of you out there that celebrate Thanksgiving, I hope you had a great feast and celebration with your family and friends and loved ones and all that. And I wish you the very best. I didn't script anything for this. As you know, this is part 2 to the revised combat. We're going to be going over the Guardians and how to combat them. So I think this is going to be a really fun video. I'm going to have some little demos set up. I don't think it's going to be as long as the other one. And let me just touch on that real quick. The other one did clock in at 53 minutes, but I really like the format that I do with you guys. You know, I don't want to just jet through something. I love spending time with you, teaching you about the game, and hopefully, you know, from that video, you got very acclimated, even more acclimated to the game. So my videos are long, but you know what? I love hanging out with you, playing the game, teaching you it. So to me, it's all good. So next, again, I hope you had a good Thanksgiving, and we're going to be going over the revised combat with the Guardians. And it is very early on Thanksgiving right now, and my family said, I got to have all this cleared for our dinner. And you know what I said? I said, wait a minute, we don't have to clear any of this. And they looked at me with the evil eye, like, what are you talking about? I was like, well, think about something. Over here in the siege tile, I make a delicious standing rib roast and a small turkey breast. We can put the standing rib roast right in the siege tile, surrounding that area, right? We don't have to take the game down. And then I proceeded to say we can put the mashed potatoes in the Well of Eternity quadrant. I think that would go nicely there. Macaroni and cheese. Everyone loves macaroni and cheese. I think it'd be fitting to put it in the Chamber of Kings, north and south. And we already know what's going to go inside of the cesspool. I don't know, corn. They weren't too keen on having a Crusader Thanksgiving feast with everything set up. So I will be taking everything down. I hope you enjoyed my mild attempt at humor. But anyway, but yeah, we want to get this done. I have to clear everything and get ready. Plus, it's going to be still busy. We have to pull out our Halloween Christmas decorations. So the next video will be over the classic combat system, and we should have everything decorated for the holidays. So if you've stuck around for years, you know how we do it up here. So it'll be very nice and cozy and inviting for you guys. So next, before we get into this, I have to share this with you, and I cannot tell you how disappointed I was. Remember when I chatted with you about the new condenser mic? I was eagerly awaiting this. Here it is, the Samrock condenser mic, 35 bucks off Amazon. And I had so many uses I wanted to do with this. And we notice it has a Type-C USB. I use a Galaxy A20 phone for when I shoot, and I get pretty good results with it. Well, here's the microphone here. It works and everything, but for whatever reason, it is not compatible with this camera phone I'm using, and I was seriously disappointed. And I tested it out on a family member's phone, which has a newer Galaxy, and it worked fine. So it's not my phone, or it's not this. And I tried every single option, and I was bummed because I really wanted to use this thing with you guys and give you better audio. So I'm not going to give up though. I'm going to try to get an adapter and see if I can make this thing work. But I really love this thing. 19-foot cord. It's like perfect for what we do here. So I will keep you updated. I am going to get this thing going one way or another. Okay, sorry I had to tell you all that stuff. So now, let us get into what we're going to be discussing today. So like I said at the beginning, we are going to wrap up the revised combat system. We already talked about, minions. Remember, you're going to combat minions the exact same way. Whether you're going to play the revised combat system or the classic combat system, you combat minions the same way. We discussed in the prior video how to combat champion monsters. So we're going to wrap up revised combat with dealing with these guys, the 8 guardians of the game. These are like the bosses, and if you can see the cards in back, they can level up in the game from level 1, 2, 3, and 4, and I assure you a level 4 guardian is no joke. So real quickly, going over the 8 guardians, we have Horus here, Banevik, Dreadthorn, Razorfang, Red Widow, Lord Blackhand, Nefarion, and finally the most powerful guardian in the game, Magnus, who is an archdemon from the underworld. And I'll give you a quick Crusader closet tip or fact. When I originally created or designed the game, there was actually 12 guardians, but because of the size of the game, I had to trim some off. So the 4 other guardians got cut from the game, and these 8, made it into the game. But as you know, I've been working on a huge expansion. I'd like to introduce these 4 and maybe like 4 more of them. So just know that is coming in the expansion. So more on that. So again, we're just going to talk about this, how to combat them, and I think you'll enjoy this with a few demos I'm going to have set up all over the dungeon. And we're not going to go over all this again, but if you've watched the series and the different videos, you already know there are 6 warfare types in the land of Avalon. Okay, we won't go over all that again, but if you watch the other videos, you'll know about it. And like I said, every monster, every creature in the game is versed in 3 of the 6 warfare types. So right here I just grabbed Banevik's level 3 monster cards, so we can see that Banevik is versed in physical warfare, mythical warfare, and chaos warfare. And of course, just like with champions, you're going to combat them in 3 different phases for each of the warfare types. So these are pretty challenging battles. I brought back our little battle board. I think we might put that up there. I think we'll use that for the demos. Like, I'll point it out in the dungeon, and then we'll kind of zoom in so we can discuss that. And with that, I think what I'm going to do is now, I want to go over a monster card with you. I should have done that before, but I'd like just to point a few things out. And my good friend Paul, who pretty much knows the game better than me by this point, he asked something about the loot and gold roll. So I do want to point that out. Paul, thank you for bringing that up so we could discuss that. And as I'm pulling the camera back, I have to tell you, we have, as you can see, some beautiful natural light and even nice shadows. Actually got a little bit brighter. But I think this video in particular, just because the lighting is so perfect, this gives you a really good visual representation on how good this game looks. We have the sunlight coming in. So it's kind of cool just like that. But you can really see all the colors and how it just pops. I mean, everything just looks really good in this lighting. So I would say this video in particular, you get a really good sense of truly how beautiful this dungeon and the game looks. Okay, so let's set this up. And let's just go over Banevik's monster card and point a few things out for you. Okay, and maybe I should have maybe done this before, but I think you'd like to learn a couple things on here that I should have said before. Of course, we already discussed that is the warfare types. Over here you can tell the monster's level here, so it's a level 3. And we discussed this in the other video, but that's the target priority box. This is kind of the AI that I devised for the monsters. They're going to go after the hero they can do the most damage to, and that's class 3, class 2, class 1. 2Q means Banevik can move 2 quadrants. And what Paul brought up was this here. And again, I think you guys know my love for MMORPGs, and this is exactly what that's from. If you remember, this is the loot and gold roll. We're going to notice on Guardians, hopefully it comes into focus there, that's, back a little bit, there we go. So on this one here, you're going to notice a ×2, like 14 plus for the treasure chest, and ×2, 10 plus for the gold coin. What that simply means is you're going to make 2 separate loot rolls, and you can tell that the odds of getting some loot or gold off a guardian is much better, and there's more of it. So once you make your first loot and gold roll. You're going to process that, and then you're going to do another one. And my thinking was, just really for if you've played an MMORPG, when you kill a boss in one of those games, or even in a regular console or PC game, the boss monster, Guardian, is usually carrying more gold and more loot than just a regular, monster in the game. So just remember that when you kill or slay a Guardian, you're going to be making 2 separate loot rolls. Okay, that's life force. Remember, when you kill that, life force is XP. I just called it life force. There's a life force token there, and there's these different. There's like a 1, and then there's a 5, and that's your XP. But in Dungeon Crusade, life force is used for many different things. When you kill a monster, you're going to take your life force and just put it into a collective pool, and then all your heroes can draw from that. Okay. And then, of course, that's its health right there. You can see this is a level 3. Mainvik has 12 health. Guardians are no joke in this game, and this right here is just its racial trait. And there's 5 different races in Dungeon Crusade. So I'm glad we went over this. So remember, ×2, you're going to make 2 separate loot and gold rolls when you slay a Guardian. Okay, let's get to our demos. And let's get to some combat. Okay, we're going to have 3 demos today. First one is going to be over here in the Tomb of St. Viticus South Quadrant, and Sir Brennus is going to be taking on Bainvik. Our second demo here is going to take place in Northern Quarters, that quadrant, and it's going to be our archer hero Enwin and Zeke, our wizard, taking on Razor Fang. And let me point out, I thought to pull out a few special abilities, ranged special abilities. And in case you don't know, that's how people have asked, is there ranged special abilities in Dungeon Crusade? Yes, and they're in the form of special abilities. So we're going to go over that. And for our final demo, it's going to be a big battle. We're over here in the Heroes Vigil, that quadrant, and our rogue hero Palum, our cleric Faith, and our barbarian Mahaliak will be taking on Lord Blackhand. And I created this evil faction called the Blackhand Army, and you guessed it, Lord Blackhand is the leader. So we're going to see how that plays out. Okay, without further ado, first of all, let's go over the hero cards and show you the initiative tokens. Okay, so let's go over the initiative tokens and how I placed them. And just for ease, I just put it right along so we could follow along with it. So remember, Sir Brennus is over here in the Tomb of St. Viticus. So, and you lay your initiative tokens out in the upkeep phase on how you want to activate your heroes. You're going to survey the dungeon. And again, that sunlight looks beautiful. You're going to survey the dungeon. You're going to come up with your tactics, your planning, your strategy for what you want to do on the forthcoming turn. So Sir Brennus, like we saw, is going to be combating Bainvik. So I gave him initiative token 1. Over here we have Zeke, our wizard, and our archer Enwin, and they have Zeke has initiative token 2, Enwin has initiative token 3, and they're right here. So what's interesting is, and just part of the strategy that kind of worked out, Zeke has his level 1 magic missile, so we're going to fire that off first and try to do some damage on Razorfang, and then after he rallies Enwin's going to come around the corner, because she's in the corner right there, and she is going to attempt to put some damage on Razorfang with long shot. Okay, and she has initiative token 3. We'll see how that battle plays out and explain revised combat. Finally, our 3 heroes for the finale. We have Palum, Faith, and Mahaliak, and accordingly initiative token 4, 5, and 6. So thematically, Palum is going to come around the corner, approach Lord Blackhand. She's going to rally these 2 heroes, and we're going to have a huge battle, and we'll go over everything. Again, this is going to be super simple. As I've always said, Dungeon Crusade is huge, very simple game mechanics, but kind of like not complex, I'd say, but the fun of the game is with the strategy and the tactics and planning that you come up with when you're playing. Okay, so let's get on to our first demo. Sir Brennus versus Banevic. Okay, we're going to shoot over to the battle board just to make things easier like we did when we were combating champions. Normally, you know, if you weren't, of course, adjacent to a monster, Sir Brennus would have to move. But in this case, he is adjacent to Banevic, so he can launch an attack. And so let's move these guys over to the battle board and see how the battle goes. Okay, before we get started, I do want to say some things. Well, first of all, boy, that sun's like really glaring on that. Hopefully you can see that okay. First and foremost, this was absolutely reckless, terrible gameplay. And I want you to keep something in mind, guys, when you do this, kind of like a pro Crusader tip. Oh, and as for a added bonus, the game ships with normal difficulty monsters. Their names glow in white and it has one skull. I pulled out the expert difficulty. Expert names glow green and has two skulls. So there's normal, expert, and finally heroic difficulty monster decks. So you can mix them all together. There's a few different game modes that you can, or variants rather, that you can use the difficulty, you know, mix all the difficulty monster decks together. Heroic has a blue glow to the name and 3 skulls. Expansion pack, maybe there's going to be legendary where the name will glow orange and have 4 skulls. Who knows? I actually had a legendary difficulty, but I wanted to see how everyone did with these two. So I wanted to point that out. But what I was saying was this was absolutely horrible, terrible gameplay. And here's why, and this is part of the fun of Dungeon Crusade. You know, there's 6 warfare types. This was absolutely terrible. And I've shared this with other people that were not doing good in the game. And when I said this, they're like, okay, I get it now. Remember, there's 6 different warfare types. Banevic is versed in physical warfare, mythical warfare, and chaos warfare. Well, Sir Brennus would not be the one to send in after him. If anyone, it would be Maheliak and probably Palum, our rogue, because she's strong with mythical warfare. But taking a look at, oh, there it comes in okay. But there we go. If you look at chaos warfare, that's a -3. So on the chaos warfare dice, we're going to have to deduct 3 off the roll because Sir Brennus, remember, proficient. He is not proficient in that warfare type. Same with the mythical warfare, -2. He's not proficient in that. However, in physical warfare, if you remember from our other video, Sir Brennus, he's our knight hero. Very proficient with physical warfare. We can add a +3. So this is going to be an uphill battle, especially fighting an expert difficulty guardian monster. So I wanted to point that out. I thought I was going to say one other thing too. Maybe I'll remember. Oh, that was it. Champion monsters. Remember, that's continuous battles until, you know, the hero or heroes are killed, the champion monster's killed, or the heroes evade out of the chamber. When you're combating guardians, you attack and then that's it. That's like the end of it. So once you launch your attack, that's it for that turn or that initiative token, okay? If you're playing the solo Crusader mode, you know that you get 3 of those. So if you attack with this, and this is, we're kind of diverting a bit, but just so you know, if you're playing solo Crusader mode, you're gonna have 3 initiative tokens. So once you attack with this, boom, it's gone. But if you have initiative token 2, that's like another turn. Okay, I just wanted to clarify that. So when you're done combating a guardian, that's it. Combat is done, it moves on to the next hero. Okay, so let's go over this again. Here is our, remember, physical or mythical warfare dice. Here's our physical warfare dice with our warfare token, and finally chaos warfare. Whoop, that's initiative token, that. What we're going to do is like we did before. You shuffle them up. And remember, this would go much, much quicker if, you know, I wasn't explaining everything, but it's as simple as this, like what we did. We're going to shuffle them up, put them here. Phase 1 of combat is going to be, well, chaos warfare. That's not good. So what we're going to do is from looking at that, we have to deduct 3. Take a look at Banevic's monster card. Now guys, I hope you're enjoying this video. I love hanging out with you and talking Dungeon Crusade, so that comes into focus, hopefully. That it's a 15. That is ridiculously high. These monsters, the expert and heroic, definitely get more difficult. So we would want Mahaliak, or a hero who's versed in Chaos Warfare or has a lot of gear that would, you know, buff that up. So if Sir Brennis does not get a 15 or higher, he is going to take 2 damage. Do you see how that works? Basically he's going to have to get an 18, a 6, and a 12. So Sir Brennis, I don't think you're going to do too good. So let's see what happens. No. As expected, that's a 9. We're going to deduct 3. Remember, that was on his Chaos Warfare. Just want to show you guys so you remember right here. Hopefully it comes in. I think the sun is having, it's -3. So that's going to drop down to what? A 6. So Sir Brennis is definitely going to take some damage for that one. Well, we're starting fresh here. I had that from the other video. 1, 2. So he lost 2 health from that. Remember, there's 2 more phases of combat. So we'll clear the warfare token. Let's clear the dice. On to phase 2. See how nice and brisk this moves with the revised combat? Whoops, and you know what I forgot? Phase 1, I was declaring his starting weapon with the worn longsword. So I'll put that there. I'm sorry I did not say that. So now we're in phase 2, declaring the worn longsword as starting weapon for phase 2. Physical warfare. Let's take those dice. We'll set that aside. Now he can add a +3 to this, and looking at Bainvik's card, that is a 13. So Sir Brennis has to get a 13 or higher to score, and then if he doesn't, he'll take 2 damage. Lines up for the hit, and it's actually very good. So that is 9 and 5 is a 14, adding 3, 17. He does damage, and remember, you look at the weapon for how much damage. So it does 1 damage, and because this is a starting weapon, there's no buffs to physical warfare. Remember, you look here to see if there's any buffs for this particular weapon. So there's not. So he only put 1 damage on Bainvik. And we're going to run the whole thing, but I just wanted to go over this with you. Okay, so let's clear that. That's the end of phase 2. We'll take the battle token off. Put this aside. Get rid of the dice. And Mythical Warfare is the last for phase 3. Of course, there's our phase 3 battle token. I'm declaring the worn longsword that Sir Brennis is attacking with. Looking at Sir Brennis's card, I think that's a -2. Yeah, so he's going to have to -2 off this Mythical Warfare roll. And it's kind of possible. So Bainvik has a 11 and a 1, so we have to score higher. Sir Brennis has to score higher than 11. If he doesn't, he'll take 1 damage. So let's see. Draws back and no. So it's a 9 and a 3, minusing 2 from that. That's only a 7. Sir Brennis is going to take 1 damage. I think from this you guys can see kind of the fun strategy and planning the tactics that you really have to employ to be victorious. You saw that he just took 3 damage. And then in the monster phase, of course, and we're gonna use this because we have to talk about counterattack. So we're gonna come back to this and leave everything as it is. Well, we'll reset it, and then we'll go over counterattack. And I think that'll be a good way to wrap everything up. So Sir Brennis took 3 damage from that, and hopefully from this you can see why you want to look at those warfare types when you're putting a party of heroes together to be your guardian hunters. And you definitely want to send someone like Sir Brennis after someone like Bainvik. You would definitely want to send definitely Mahaliak, because he's proficient in Chaos Warfare and Physical Warfare. And it'd be great if you rallied Palum, because she is very proficient in Mythical. So they could definitely put some damage on Bainvik. Okay, we're going to move on now to our second demo. Okay, and I think we're going to have some fun with the second demo here. And I think the sun is calming down a bit, and the color looks really great right now with the lighting. So what we're going to do is, of course, here's Razorfang, and Zeke has initiative token 2, and we're definitely going to be using those special abilities. And maybe you haven't seen this before, you're going to get very acclimated and see how these are used. So Zeke has initiative token 2. He is going to move up and then rally Enwin, call out to her to help out, and they're both going to take on Razorfang, okay? So looking at Zeke's card, you guys may already know this. Let's go over it real quick. Base movement of 2 plus the roll of a d6. So we're going to have to get some movements. But before that, remember, he has a special ability. So let's take a look at his special ability, Magic Missile. Okay, and we have Magic Missile right here. Let's go over this real quick. I know we talked about this before, but since we're right here, Life Force. Remember we talked about Life Force? So a hero can use Enlightenment on their turn. They say, I'm going to use Enlightenment, and they can gain a new special ability, or in some cases, they can level up. More on that one later. So we can see that Zeke paid 3 Life Force to acquire this, and it's going to take 3 Essence to cast Magic Missile. And because he's our wizard, here's your, there's your health bar, here's your Essence. Essence is how heroes use special abilities. So we're just going to pay this now. So that's at 3, what that should have been there, reset. So he's going to pay 3 Essence. 1, 2, I'm looking through the camera here, but I'm going to spend the 3 Essence. So 1, 2, 3, so he's down to, was that 9? So you can see that. So now he can activate Magic Missile. This is the level 1, and these little icons here, that's a chamber door. This lets you know you can't use this inside of a chamber of a dungeon, but you can use it in the corridor of a dungeon. That's like a dungeon hallway. And channel. Exhaust tap, I just came up with channel, so it was like a unique word for Dungeon Crusade. Red arrow means after Zeke uses this, or any hero that has this, you have to channel it. You tip it upside down. During the upkeep phase, it goes right side up, so you can use it for the forthcoming turn. Guys, that's as simple as it is. So that describes everything with a Magic Missile. Now let's go over the text and what this says here. Sorry, I had to get this to come in focus. So, Magic Missile may be activated on the wizard's turn when a minion or guardian is within 4 spaces of the wizard and there's clear line of sight to the targeted monster. Once activated, roll 1d8 and consult the chart below. And I love those kind of, in other games and Dungeon Crusade. So when I created all these special abilities, they're very easy to use and fun special abilities to use. So we can see there is clear line of sight, 1, 2, 3 spaces. So Zeke can use Magic Missile. So let's take a look at the chart here. 1 to 2 miss, 3 to 6 monster takes 1 damage. On resolve to 7, monster takes 2 damage, and 8 monster takes 2 damage plus any adjacent monsters take 1 damage. So it would be nice to try to get a 7. So let's get our D8 here, and let's see how Zeke does. So he lines up this Magic Missile, and 5. So consulting the little chart here, monster takes 1 damage. So he puts 1 damage on Razorfang. And let me say something that now that you may know from the other videos, every hero, 1 initiative token equals 2 actions, okay? So using a special ability is a free action because you're spending essence to do so. So you say he had another special ability, he could use that as long as he has the essence to pay for it. It never costs an action to use a special ability, okay? So in this case, what we're gonna do is he is gonna generate some movement. Let's get our D6. He has a base movement of 2 plus a roll of D6. 2. So 1, 2, 3. He is adjacent to Razorfang. So now, and this is one of the things that was, guys, that was paramount to me in creating Dungeon Crusade, true party building. He's going to take his initiative token 2, and kind of before the attack, he's going to rally out to Enwin to help out, okay? So that's on rally. Enwin has initiative token 3. She says, sure, I'm going to rally with you to fight Razorfang. Now here's something cool. She is going to use her long shot and try to put damage on Razorfang. So looking at her card there, she actually has a base movement of 3 plus the roll of a d6. And you can interrupt your movement to cast a special ability. So that's tons of movement. So that's 9. So 1, 2, hold on a second. She's going to use long shot. And just like we talked about before, there is everything there. She spent 2 life force to acquire this from the academy in the village. And it's going to cost 2 essence. Let's just do that right now. So here's remember your essence bar. We're going to move that down by 2. And let's take a look at this special ability. And remember, see, you can see right there, you can't use this in a chamber, but you can use this in the dungeon. This may be activated within the archer's turn. When activated, target a monster within 4 spaces and line of sight of the archer. Roll 1d6 and consult the chart below. And you can see there's clear line of sight, 1, 2, 3. Within range, and consulting our chart, 1 to 2 miss, 3 to 6 monster takes 1 damage. So Enwin is going to line, and then the last line, a bow or crossbow must be equipped to use this ability. Enwin has her trusty hunting bow, starting weapon, does 1 damage, no buffs to ranged warfare. So she's going to line up her shot, taking a shot at Razorfang, and 3. I think she just made it, right? Yeah, 1 damage. So take our damage marker and put that over there. So we have 2 damage on Razorfang, and she'll finish her movement, 1, 2. Let's go over to the battle board and see how the combat goes. Okay guys, we are over here at the battle board. We have Razorfang, Zeke, and Enwin. So let's take a look at Razorfang's card. And you know what I did? Actually, I didn't even realize. I put my normal difficulty pack of monster cards away. I have the expert. So the heroes are having a tough time in the dungeon on Thanksgiving. But let's go over a couple things. First of all, and I don't like to give you guys spoilers, but I just would like to read you another origin stories. I wrote origin stories for everything, did a ton of world building, lore for the game. And when you play the Avalon Adventure board game, and just maybe from watching this series, you're going to see one of the reasons why the game took so long, but how this is all connected together. So let's just go over this origin story for Razorfang, and hopefully you find it fairly interesting. Okay, origins north of Towel, and Towel is north in Avalon. So these are all locations, on the map of Avalon. Razorfang is from the Unz-Rul tribe, far north of the village of Towel. He has traveled to Avalon for one reason: to slay as many humans as possible. Years ago, the Black Hand Army, remember them, razed his settlement and slaughtered most of his tribe in an attempt to cleanse the land. Razorfang has vowed revenge and will destroy anyone who opposes him. So that's a little origin story on Razorfang. And again, when you play the Avalon Adventure board game and through the quest of the game, all of this just kind of ties together in this intricate web. I don't know how to say it, but hopefully you enjoyed that. But let's take a look here at his monster card. He has 8 health. Well, the heroes I've already I put the 2 markers over there. So he's down to 6 health here. He is versed in physical warfare, ranged warfare, and mythical warfare. And let's get those warfare types real quick, or the tokens rather, on the dice. So physical warfare, followed by ranged warfare, and then finally mythical warfare. And remember, level 1 guardian monsters just have origin stories, but when you get into level 2, 3, and 4, they have special abilities, and when I created all of them, they always change. So you'll never see the same special ability. As they level up, they get different and more unique and more powerful ones. Okay, so there are warfare dice or warfare tokens. And what we're going to do now is we're going to clear all these dice out, take the warfare tokens, and see the order of battle. And again, after this video, we're going to go into the classic combat, and I'm glad we started with this. I was going to do classic combat, but I think that it's better to do this. And then after classic combat, we're going to go over the 193 different pieces of loot in the game, the 9 rarities, and underworld artifacts. So I think we're going to have a lot of fun going over that. Okay, so just like we did before, we're going to shuffle them. Phase 1 is going to be physical warfare. And like I said, and I don't think I put the links in the other video, Breath of Fire 1, Breath of Fire 2, Persona, they're video games. That's exactly kind of what I was thinking. So this is very, I have a lot of influences, guys. I played so many games, but very JRPG influence with combat in Dungeon Crusade. So first of all, let's take a look at this here. Okay, physical warfare is a 15, and that is a 2, I believe, right? Or 1, 2. And yes, so what we have to do is now, so picture it, although like if this was real, it'd be happening in real time, the heroes are going to discuss who wants to attack in physical warfare. Now, looking at Zeke's hero card, and again, you would want to, rally heroes together who are proficient in those warfare types. So we're going to see what happens, because I just put these together just so you guys could see what would happen. Well, that's terrible. Zeke is not going to attack in physical warfare. That's a -3. He's not proficient at all. However, if we take a look at Palum, she does have a +2 to physical warfare. So she is definitely going to be the one. She is going to attack. She has her longbow starting weapon. And she is just going to declare this to attack with. She can do 1 damage, phase 1. She declares that, so she kind of like winds up for physical warfare, takes the physical warfare dice, and not good enough. That's only a 7, even with her +3, that's a 9, and that is a 15, right? 15. She is going to take 2 damage for that. So I just moved it down so off camera so I could see. So you can see she took 2 damage from that. That was not good. So we're going to clear that. Clear the dice. And that's, guys, as simple as combat is with the revised combat system. Phase 2 is range. Well, I'm going to tell you now that I'm not even going to look at Zeke's card, because Enwyn is our archer. She is I think it's a +3. She's proficient in ranged warfare because she's an archer. We can add a +3. Taking a look at Razorfang's card, and that's a 12. I think she can do it, guys. Let's see. So she could add a +3, and of course we're going to take her hunting bow. We're going to declare for phase 2. She is attacking with that, potential of 1 damage. Pulls the bow back, and is that 6, 4, and adding her from her hero card. Remember, if she had any kind of loot that would buff that, we could add that. But as it is, 6 + 3, that's a 13. That's of course higher than 12. And Palum, why do I keep saying Palum? That's our rogue. Sorry, talking fast. Enwyn puts another damage on Razorfang. Okay, clear everything up. On to phase 3. Hopefully you can see, if I wasn't talking, how much quicker and snappier combat is with the revised combat. Take off that. Last is mythical warfare. I think Zeke is going to be the one. Yeah, she's got a, what is that, a -2? Oh, -3. So yeah, she's not proficient. However, Zeke is proficient with a +1. Hopefully you're seeing now true party building. By rallying 2 heroes, you can pick, it comes back into focus, who's going to battle. That's just really what I wanted to accomplish with this game. And remember, you would definitely strategize and plan and think who you want to attack and with what heroes on those guardians. Okay, so Zeke is going to declare his oak staff, potential 1 damage, dull gray gem, starting weapon. And here's for phase 3. Okay, looking at Razorfang's card. Okay, it's 12 and a 1. See how Zeke does. Takes his Oak Staff for Mythical Warfare. You can add a +1 and... oh, not good. That's only a 6. And remember, this is an expert difficulty monster, and that is a, what is that, 1 damage. I'm gonna mark it up here. And he is down to that. So, I think his health, I should have started there, right? Because he didn't take any damage yet. So, yeah, he's just down to that. So, guys, that's it. That's revised combat with 2 heroes. I hope you enjoyed that and taking a look at special abilities. Now our finale, well, kind of our finale, we're going to shoot back to Sir Brennis and Bainvik so I could show you counterattack, but onto our finale with Maheliak, Palom, and Faith as they take on Lord Blackhand. Okay guys, our kind of grand finale here. This is going to be a good battle. Here's Palom right here. She has initiative token 4. Faith has initiative token 5, and Maheliak has initiative token 6. So she is going to rally her fellow heroes and just taking, I'm not going to pull all their hero cards, but you can see she has a lot of movement. She has a base movement of 4 plus the roll of a d6, okay? So no special abilities to use here. This is just going to be a straight up battle. Let me get the d6 here, and we're going to roll. She's right here. 5 and 4, plenty of movement. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4. And then she is going to flip that over and rally Faith. And remember, when you rally a hero, I don't think I told you that before, and I apologize, you pay 1 essence to rally a hero, but it's only 1. Even if you rally 1 hero, 2 heroes, it's only 1 essence. So Faith has initiative token 5. She's going to answer the rally call. She has a base movement of 2 plus the roll of a d6. A roll. That's only a 1, and actually I'm glad that came up. So 1, 2, and then 3. She's adjacent, so she can attack. I wanted to say real quickly, let's say that she ended up there and she was 1 shy. You can always spend 1 essence, burn 1 essence to gain 1 movement. And you can do it as much as you like, as long as you have the essence to spend to do that. But in this case, that she does have enough. So remember, she had initiative token 5, she's gonna rally. And then finally, Palom has rallied Maheliak, initiative token 6. Flipping that over, Maheliak is going to answer the rally call. He has also a base movement of 2 plus the roll of a d6. 4, plenty of movement, and moves in 1, and he's already adjacent. Okay guys, so we're going to go over to our battle board and do our grand finale here with our 3 heroes taking on Lord Blackhand. Okay guys, I have everything set up. I think this is going to be a very fun and interesting battle, and I already pulled the warfare tokens for Lord Blackhand. But before that, I want to go over something that some veteran Crusaders may not know, and definitely for new players. And it's about being adjacent to whether it be a minion or a guardian. Notice how, and this is in the rules, this is all the guardians, because you know some of them are quite large. But notice how Lord Blackhand is over into these adjacent squares there. That's legal to attack there. What I mean is, let's say that Faith was right here in the dungeon. You know, we're doing a zoomed in view. That's a legal attack. You could move, you know, picture like she would like reach in to attack. So if there's a miniature that overhangs like this, you could attack into that square. Okay, same like here. If Palom was here and Lord Blackhand was here, you could attack diagonally. So that square is a, you know, an opportunity to attack. So, you know, like she reaches in to attack. And the same here if Maheliak was there. Or of course you could move them here if you like. But just remember that while you're playing, that if it overhangs this way, you can of course move right in. But for this, we'll just put our heroes right there and they are ready for the battle, okay? Just wanted to touch base with you on that. And then looking here at Lord Blackhand, I will not read his origin stories. I'll just keep it a surprise for you. He is versed in physical warfare, spiritual warfare, and chaos warfare, and very versed in spiritual warfare. And again, there's our warfare dice and the warfare tokens. So again, I just threw this together. This might be kind of reckless gameplay. We'll see what happens, and we'll do our best. Our heroes will do their best. So let me clear everything up here. The dice is over here, and put Lord Blackhand's card kind of like right here. And remember, you're going to give them a shuffle. And hopefully you're seeing now with true party building the benefits of it. So, you know, instead of just one hero, you have 3 better chances to attack with the warfare types. They could spread the damage out between them. And so that's a little bit more about true party building. So let's shuffle these. Okay, we're going to go into phase 1. And it's going to be physical warfare. I'm going to tell you now, it's going to be Mahaliak is going to attack. If we look at his hero card real quick, he is very proficient in chaos warfare and physical warfare. So when chaos warfare comes up, he will be the one to attack. So for now, consulting, I know for a fact that Palum, we can take a look. I don't think she's very, no, she's not proficient at all with physical. That's a -2. So we wouldn't want to attack with her, and definitely with Faith. Yeah, she has nothing. She's middle of the road with physical warfare. So it is going to be Mahaliak. He is going to take his primordial axe. It is a starting weapon. Put it there. And for phase 1, he will be attacking. Get the physical warfare dice. So Mahaliak is going to pull back, and Mahaliak, that is a terrible. He totally missed Lord Blackhand. That was almost a critical fumble there. That's a 13, even adding his, what is that, +2, 5. Nope, he is going to take damage. And remember, just look to the right. At least, what is that? Oh, that's a 2. So he's going to take 2 damage for that. I'm just going to move it down now off camera so I can see it. And he has taken 2 damage. Hopefully you guys have got revised combat down. It's very easy. Put his weapon back. Clear the dice, clear that warfare token. We're on to phase 2. Flip it over, and okay, so now, well, like I said, Mahaliak will be attacking in chaos in second phase with chaos warfare, because he is very proficient in that with a +3. That comes into focus. Hopefully you guys can see that. But it's a +3. So we're going to take his primordial axe. He's going to attack with that, of course, for phase 2. We're going to declare that. Take the Chaos Warfare dice, and looking at Lord Blackhand's monster card, that's a, what is that, 12 and a 2. He's got to have a big swing with this, so he kind of swings back, and yes, that is a hit. That's, what is that, 6 and a 5, that's 11. And then hero card, that's a +3 because he's proficient, that's 14. He definitely takes, deals 1 damage to Lord Blackhand. Remember, how much damage? Whatever weapon they are declaring with, that's a +1. So we have 1 damage on Lord Blackhand, and he has 7 health remaining. Remember, this is an expert difficulty monster. Okay, we're going to clear everything. And again, I hope you guys are enjoying the revised combat. Those veteran Crusaders who played, you can see how much more snappy it is than classic. But classic combat is good if you want a more in-depth and challenging experience. Okay, well then you know it's going to be spiritual warfare. That is phase 3. We have our spiritual warfare dice. Mahaliak will definitely not be attacking in that phase. Yeah, neither will Palum. That's our rogue. She's not proficient at all. That's a -3. But you may want to party these 2 together, like take with Mahaliak and Faith, our cleric. Since she's our cleric, she's very proficient in spiritual warfare, and that's a +3. And you know, guys, I'm probably going to spread this video around because I think this did a really good job of showing you the combat system for revised combat system in it. So let's get on with it. Faith has her starting weapon, crude mace, +1 damage. Remember, there's different gear in the loot deck. There's, you know, bracers and armor and charms and everything that you can equip on your heroes to boost those warfare values up. So for phase 3, she's going to attack with the crude mace. She's right here. And let's take a look. She has to hit with a, what's that, that's high. So Lord Blackhand is very proficient in spiritual warfare. That's a 14. She better swing good. That's all I can say. And was that a 3? 7. Oh man, look at that. Adding her +3 from her hero card because she's proficient in spiritual warfare. That's only a 13. And she needed a 14. 2 damage. Lord Blackhand has dealt to our cleric hero. Okay guys, well that wraps up. Now this would have been in the hero phase. We're going to clear all this up while I'm chatting here. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope you can see revised combat. For those people that just want to chuck some dice, use a little strategy and tactics, it works perfectly. The last thing we're going to do though, quickly, is go over in the monster phase when a hero can use, actually it's right here, counterattack. Okay, we're going to go over this. We're going to bring Bainvik and Sir Brennis back in. I'm going to show you counterattack and the defend side of the battle tokens, and we'll discuss that. So let me clear everything up here, and I'll just bring them in, and we'll go over that. Then we'll pull the camera back and wrap everything up. Okay, I hope you enjoyed checking all that out. I just love hanging out with you, telling you some stories of how this game all came about. Down to business, though. No fathers of the faith or succubuses around here right now. Like I showed you before, here's the warfare that Bainvik is versed in. Physical, mythical, chaos warfare. Like I said, Sir Brennis has got to defend in all phases in the monster phase, okay? What's different is this, and we're going to get into counterattack. I hear you, Paul. Paul's yelling, talk about counterattack. I'm going to do that, Paul. Remember how before we had to score that to land a hit? Well, in the monster phase, when you are defending, you have to meet this or exceed this to successfully defend. See how that works? So as long as Sir Brennis meets or exceeds these values while defending, he won't take damage. Counterattack. And we're definitely going to use that when physical warfare comes up. So counterattack, let's just take a look at this real quick. We already discussed the top of it. Counterattack may be activated during the monster phase when a monster is about to attack an adjacent hero, which is about to happen. When activated, the hero may select one phase of combat to attack in instead of defending in. Real simple. Guys, I don't like complex stuff. I truly don't. Real easy to understand. A hero can use counterattack at any level. So, case in point, we are going to use that. We're going to leave this the way it is, but when that physical warfare comes up, boom, Sir Brennis is going to activate that. And guys, it's as simple as that. Let's clear the dice. Get ready for the battle. We're going to take these, give them a quick shuffle. Okay. Phase 1. Okay, we're just going to defend in this. I think it's going to be very tough. Looking at Bainvik, that's 11 and a 1. Sir Brennis, I don't think he's too hot. Nope, that's a -2. So we're going to have to deduct 2. Remember, he is defending now in phase 1. I'll put that there as a reminder. He's defending. And I didn't think he was going to do too good. And you know what? If he didn't have to deduct that, he would have made it. But as it is, we have to deduct 2. And that's only a 9. He is going to take, I think that's 1 damage. Yep, 1 damage. Darn it. Tell you guys, I really wish I didn't have to do anything. I'm really into this. I would love to play a game of Dungeon Crusade at this point in time. Clear the dice. That's how that works. Get rid of that. On to phase 2. Chaos warfare. This is going to be rough. Looking at this, this is going to be impossible. 15. So he has to successfully, well, he's going to have to get an 18, guys. That's what it is, because then we could deduct 3, and that will be at a 15. If I roll a 12 and a 6, I will be completely surprised. So, phase 2, of course, he's going to defend. He's going to hold up his shield and try to withstand this. And no, oh, kind of close though. Still, that's a 14. We're going to have to deduct 3 from that, because remember, that's 3, right? Yep, minus 3. And that he's going to take damage, and that is 2 damage. So you can see that Guardians can really put the hurt on heroes. Clear this. Finally, last phase is going to be, of course, physical warfare, and this is where he is going to attack. So he's going to kind of leap up, charge at him. Let's take our counterattack. And like it said, we have to spend 1 essence to cast counterattack. We're going to spend that now. So he's down to 7. So now we can flip this over, phase 3, to the attack side. He's going to take his trusty longsword, so we can attack in this phase. And let's take a look here. And that's a 13. Again, 2 damage if he doesn't make it, but he has a +3 for physical warfare on his hero card. So let's see if he can strike back and put some damage on him. No. Banevic just was like nothing. 7, even with a 3, that's 9, and he needed 13. So Brennus is hurting. He's down to 2 health. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this, but before we pull the camera back and wrap everything up, I hope that this, well, it definitely showed you how if you don't use good strategy in this game or planning, Sir Brennus, this was not the hero to send in with Banevic, you know. Well, I mean, at least in physical warfare, but he really needed maybe Mahaliak or even Palum to rally together to take him on. You know, that was a tough battle for him. So guys, we're going to pull the camera back. I hope you enjoyed this. I think it got you pretty acclimated to the revised combat system. So let me pull the camera back, do a little cleanup, and let's chat real quick. And here we are at the end of the video of revised combat with Guardians. And guys, I have to tell you, I really had an awesome time hanging out today with this one and doing the battles and teaching more about the game. So I hope, and chatting some history and glowing about Freddy's art. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Truly love hanging out with you. But most importantly, I hope I made you even more excited for the game and got you acclimated to it. Now I have to tell you what's going on here. Literally, after I get this stop this camera, I got to clear this table for our Thanksgiving dinner. I got to mop a floor and sweep, and we got to get ready to eat. A lot of you guys have been with me through the years, so you know in this room we decorate everything for Christmas, and really I like doing it for you guys too. It's just very cozy with the holiday, you know, cheer and all that kind of stuff. So what I'm saying is tonight and tomorrow, Friday, probably going into Saturday too, we're going to be decorating everything in here. And I'm going to get the next video out. Will be over the classic combat system. So next time you'll see this, we'll have all the Christmas stuff out, and it'll be a very awesome time. So there might be a slight delay, but you know, I'll try to get this done as soon as possible. And remember, Pledge Manager will be closing in December. This is it. We're done. I'm waiting to hear back from our production engineer. She's going over everything. They're sending us, I'm still waiting to hear back from her, guys. I know they've been busy. But they said end of the month they wanted to start printing. We have to get the final proofs just to look over. Everything should be going good. They've been working very hard on this. So late pledging is available, but still you have time. Don't worry. There'll be plenty of fair warning before that closes. All right, guys, I think that's about it. Again, always thank you for your time. I love hanging out with you, and I'll definitely be talking to you in the comments section. Again, I hope you had a great Thanksgiving, and I have a lot of fun stuff planned for over the holidays for us, and just watching the progress as the game is printed. I'll have videos, photos from our production engineer, and I got to go clean and have dinner. Check out those pictures of the succubus at the end. All right, guys, have a great day, and I will be talking to you very soon. Bye bye.